Welcome to a new fragrance review. Today we're gonna try Dr. Robotnik's signature scent one-man show Emerald Edition by Jacques Bogart. So here is the presentation of the bottle. It's the same one-man show bottle, just different color, black, like cap or whatever, gold spray, emerald color bottle. Would have said green, but it's like emerald edition, so I'm gonna call it emerald. No, like emerald literally have that kind of color, so still has strong atomizer like all of these. Here is the box again, same box as all the one-man show, except that it's emerald color. The side are black. Nothing special. I mean, if you have one box of one-man show, pretty much know what it looks like. Before I go with the smell, I was saying that it's a Dr. Robotnik scent. Like, if you look at the movie, I would say probably a Dr. Robotnik is wearing like a super specific batch of Aventus, and he always buy this one. I think that's the kind of guy that he is. But still, I think the fragrance, the smell, it's just my personal opinion, but I think it will like be the kind of fragrance maybe like the character from the video games would be wearing. And if you have any idea of what we'll be wearing, just write it in the comment. So anyway, let's try this one. So as it gets in the air, what I'm having, it's really herbal, like with tiny touch of sweetness, really fresh. It's nice fragrance. I'm having a lot of basil in this fragrance. I'm having also a lot of cedar. I'm having a little bit of elemi. I see it's really rated high, the elemi, but for me it's not as powerful. Also on my skin, maybe that, you know, the way my skin react, the way the cardboard actually react is not a good showcase of like that specific note. Picking up some violet, it's noticeable. If you like take your time, it's easily noticeable. I'm having like a little bit of leather. It's really with all the mix. I'm gonna come back with it, but for me there's like a note of leather, but it just kind of appeared in what they did. There's a little bit of nutmeg. That's about it. On my skin, what I'm picking up, the top notes, there's a lot of basil. There's a lot of elemi. Sorry, I said there was no elemi, but I misremembered. There's a lot of nutmeg also, but it's not as intense as the elemi. And there's a little bit of leather, a little bit of violet, a little bit of labdanum, a little bit of cedar. In the heart notes, there's a lot of cedar, and it's really what's in the heart of fragrance. There's also a lot of elemi and a lot of nutmeg, a little bit of basil, a little bit of leather, a little bit of violet, a little bit of labdanum, and a little bit of patchouli. In the base, there's still a lot of elemi, and there's also a lot of tonka bean, and there's a little bit of leather, a little bit of patchouli, and a little bit of labdanum. And as it keeps drying down and more far dry down, I would say that it's really like a leathery the way it occurs, but for me it's really more a labdanum and patchouli that's present, and it's probably the mix of the two that, not probably, it is the mix of the two that makes it feels more leathery. Actually, that labdanum is the main notes that makes the leather accord. Projection is pretty bad. It is more or less of a skin scent. I would say maybe if you go outside in super high heat would be better. I see a lot of people that rate it moderate, even strong. Strong is weird, but moderate I could like imagine that it project more on other people. Also, maybe I'm just unlucky and it don't project at all on me. Longevity though is really great. It lasted more than 12 hours, and it was a skin scent the whole time anyway, but it lasted for a really long time, so it's good. Before I keep going, I see there's a lot of people that compare it to other fragrance, including one-man show gold edition. A lot of people say that it smells like one-man show gold edition, and having tried both, they have nothing to do with each other. Nothing at all. Like if you would compare a mojito with an apple pie, say it tastes the same texture and everything. And even where I would put it, I'm gonna go in it, but even like where the fragrance belongs, it's completely different. It reminds me a lot of like the original one-man show. I think this is to the original one-man show what the new, well, not so new now, Polo Cologne Intense is to the original Polo by Ralph Lauren. Best way I can describe its fragrance. Also, there's not a lot of people that a lot of comparison. I'm gonna keep going. There's two that I don't know. I never tried. One is Aqua Fahrenheit. Never tried Aqua Fahrenheit, but it has nothing to do with the original Fahrenheit. Could get there. There's a little violet, and I would assume from what I'm smelling here that the violet note is the same violet note used in Fahrenheit. I also see people compare it to Bogart or just like Bogart, which also has nothing to do with it though. It's a bit closer. And Toy Boy by Machino and has nothing to do with it. For this fragrance, I would really not look at the comparison because it's really different. Also, I would say this fragrance is pretty. Now for the complete note breakdown. Top notes are basil, elemi, and violet. Heart notes are cedar, nutmeg, and tonka bean. And the base notes are leather, labdanum, and patchouli. Now, where would see this fragrance? For me, it's really masculine fragrance. It's really a great business fragrance. It was made in 2018, so it has that kind of old school feel that all those, like, not old school feel, but that old school like built in the fragrance that all the Bogart fragrance has, especially all the one-man show, not all, but most one-man show. It's made a very, very modern way and would work well for business fragrance. For dating fragrance, I don't think it would be really good. It's nice, fresh, and like there's a touch of sweetness, but it's not that type of fragrance. I would say if you go in the one-man show line, even that wouldn't be the best. It wouldn't be the worst, but it would be kind of in the middle. Like if it's the only thing you have, you could make it work, but if you have other stuff, it's most likely gonna be better. In the summer-winter spectrum will be a horrible winter fragrance and a wonderful summer fragrance. Also the smell, it's green, but it's like a, let's say a light, airy, whatever green. It's really soft, really fresh. So it would be great for summer. The smell, especially if you like green and leathery scent, would be a great summer fragrance. And as an everyday scent, I would say it's not that type of fragrance, but if you're into green fragrance and you want something really cheap that smells great and that's masculine, that you could just like overspray all the time, will last the whole day, and that would be a great fragrance for that. Yeah, I wouldn't put it as an everyday fragrance because it's not a type, but it's extremely easy to pull off this fragrance as an everyday fragrance. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If it's the case, well, like and share. If you tried this fragrance by Jacques Bogart, tell me what you think about it. Also, I've tried pretty much all the fragrance in the one-man show line. There's only the Ruby edition. I hear a lot of people comparing it to, I'm not sure which one it is. It might be compared either to the Gold edition or to the Oud edition. But if you tried also the Ruby, tell me if it's really worth it to get it or if it's too similar to other fragrance in your opinion in that same line. So thanks for watching and see you soon.